Great, thank you for coming to my presentation today. There's copies of the presentation at the front if you would like one, and you can also come visit me down in booth 22 if you'd like to hear more, because this is going to be a rather quick snapshot of our company. We are a Yukon-focused gold exploration company, early stage, and we're building a portfolio of gold projects. I will be making forward-looking statements, as everyone else in this room does. We're located in the Yukon, and as many of you know, the Yukon's a hot jurisdiction for investment by majors in the last few years, with Goldcorp purchasing Kaminak for $520 million, Newmont, Barrick, Agnico, Core, and others all taking stakes in juniors, as well as purchasing projects. It's a highly mineralized district, which is still underexplored. Over 32 million ounces have been produced out of this gold belt, and certainly over 60 million in reserves and resources that are known. But really, the Yukon hasn't seen focused exploration in many areas, and both of our projects are underexplored properties. So what we're looking for in projects at Banyan, it's very important to us that we're looking for projects that have both the scale of land package as well as prospective geology to host multi-million ounces. Proximal to infrastructure is also very important. You'll notice both of our projects have roads into them, which is very important when you're working in Canada's north. Gives you quite an advantage to having an economic deposit. And the Yukon is a stable jurisdiction where you can permit a project in a reasonable amount of time, and Victoria Gold is certainly an example of a project which, in modern time, has gone through the Yukon permitting process from exploration to now into production. We have a very focused and scientific exploration team. We spend our shareholders' dollars well. We pride ourselves on being very strategic and low cost. And we have two high-quality gold projects that meet that criteria for our investments, which is to have that potential and the scale as well as infrastructure. So just an overview of our two projects. To the north, to the south here, we have near Watson Lake, our Highland Gold project. We have an existing resource there of 236,000 at 0.8 grams gold equivalent in the indicated category, and 288,000 ounces inferred. We put out that resource in this March of 2018, based on the drilling that we did last year. This property is very large. It is 186 square kilometers. That resource is in a postage stamp of about 900 by 600 meters, and the property has a large part of it which has not yet been explored. We have a 9-year Class 3 mining land use permit, which would allow us to get this all the way through very advanced exploration and resource development. Having a land use permit also means that you have good, solid community and First Nation relationships, which is something our team has. We would have low development costs on this with just 40 kilometers of private road, which already exists, and then we connect into the Yukon's road network. I became the CEO in 2016, and very shortly after, I worked towards acquiring the Oryx and McQuestion projects, which were two projects right up near Mayo, where Victoria Gold's building their mine, and where Alexco has had a producing silver mine and is putting that mine back into production, a highly mineralized area. This property had been in fractured hands, and nobody had been able to consolidate it really since the gold rush. And we were able, through our good relationships, to put it together. We're pretty excited about that property. It's also an intrusion-related gold system, but it has year-round access, a highway right through the middle of it, a 3-phase power line. Victoria Gold just built us a substation on the corner of our property. Actually, it's theirs, but it'd be very handy in the future. And we have a 10-year Class 4 mining land use permit here, which is also a testament to having good First Nation relationships. Our team is very experienced both in the Yukon and the mining space, bringing both finance, mine development. Mark Arantos from Victoria Gold. We also have strong advisors and supporters with Sean Harvey, Rob Karn from Attack, who certainly has been part of their success story, and Clint Nauman, who's the CEO of Alexco. Alexco, as you'll see in the next slide, is our largest shareholder at 9.5%, and certainly a key part driving behind us. Here's our shareholders. You can see we have 20% held by insiders. I'm personally a 5% shareholder, with Alexco at 9.5% and Victoria Gold just under 5%. The majority of our other shareholders are people in this mining business who've come in since I became CEO about a year ago. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail, but this is the Highland property, very large. You can see we have 4 primary targets right now. It's very similar to SSR's Marigold mine in Nevada, same geology and the same exploration model. That mine's been hugely successful, and it's the type of deposit which can be very large. Here's the resource. It's an overturned anticline, and the ground surface is just up the top there. It has the limb which actually parallels the ground surface. So on the front of my presentation, there's a photograph which shows the ground surface and trenches which are right in mineralization. So low strip ratio, oxide resource within 75 meters of surface, column leach test recovery is at 86%. So potentially a open pit heap leach mineable deposit, which is known technology in Canada's north. This year, with very little money, we wanted to show that that resource, which is open in all directions and open at depth, had the potential to continue. We picked going north because we knew to the north we had 56 meters of 1 gram up in the camp zone. And we trenched and we extended the known surface mineralization by over 450 meters. And then drilling, we did the same thing and extended that mineralization and found the structure extending over 1.25 kilometers. We believe that this shows that this area has lots of potential to increase the resource, and really that camp zone and area between the main zone and camp zone, which now is over 2 kilometers, is a high priority target. There's just a quick snapshot of what it looks like. You can see as we go north, the top limb is a little bit less flat lying, but certainly that thickened hinge zone gives lots of opportunity to increase the resource. This slide just shows you the geochemistry, and the main point here is that we have a very large land package that's underexplored. We're focusing on the 9.5 kilometers where you can see between where the lake is up at the camp zone down to about the middle of the property. And that is where we believe we have strong mineralized trend over 9.5 kilometers. We've at the camp zone and the Cuz zone and the Montrose Ridge, we have rock samples and soil samples. That Montrose Ridge is over 9.5 kilometers south of the camp zone, and we've trenched 6 meters of 4.4 grams. We're really excited about the potential of this property. We think that a major partner, if they can see 2 million ounces plus, would be interested, and we think that the geology here speaks for itself. We also have a second property up near Mayo. As I said, it's right near Victoria Gold. You can see to the north, they're putting that mine into production, and Alexco is also to the north of us. We have a strong partnership with both Victoria Gold and Alexco and share resources. Alexco lets us do our exploration out of their camp, which is a short 10-minute drive. That red line and the black line are the main government-owned power line, as well as a highway, so year-round access to this site. We could be working on it all year round. We also have Victoria Gold's haul road going out through the western end of our property, as well as their substation. Our main target area is right in between the highway and the access road to Victoria Gold. This property had fractured ownership over the years, with small portions being optioned out over the years to companies like NovaGold and Newmont. But really, they were too small of a land package until somebody consolidated to have real interest. We know this is a highly mineralized area. There's the big system that created Alexco's Keno Hill Silver District. There's the big system that created Victoria Gold. We have evidence of 5 styles of gold and silver mineralization on our property. We chose to focus on near-surface skarn-type mineralization at the McQuestion target and have put the other targets on a lower priority, but they certainly all exist. We chose this area because it had a wealth of existing drill information, trenching information, known near-surface gold mineralization. A highlight is following up on 120 meters of 1.36 right from surface. We were able to put together the first geological compilation for this area, as well as a mineralization model. We know the gold's hosted in that unit that's shown in orange, which is a calcareous unit, and it's very consistent. We think we can track it now and set out this year with a drill program based on our mineralization model that you can see down in the bottom to test it and expand what's known and add to that mineralization model. Our plan is to work towards a resource on this property, but really in current markets you need to have probably 1 million ounces or more before you put out a resource, so we'll work towards that. But very prospective, and with infrastructure, the corner of our property there is about 150 meters from from the highway, so it's pretty easy to get to it, and we have a wealth of existing roads on the property. So that's a summary of our projects and our company. I hope you'll come for a meeting and learn a little bit more about it. Our Highland project is very well teed up. We've got lots of targets on it. We're ready to continue to step out and drill that property, focusing on district scale mineralization to show that it has the potential to be much larger. Our Oryx McQuestion, we're focusing on that skarn type mineralization. That's again near surface. Both properties near surface, low strip ratio would be heap leach mineable type projects. But on Oryx McQuestion, focusing on the one area to advance towards a resource fairly quickly. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a geotechnical engineer. I've been involved in the field as a geologist with my father since I was old enough to carry a backpack. It is. The original shell was an oil and gas shell, and it was named by the original CEO, and it was his vision. I haven't changed the name, so thank you very much.